Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Bobby Brill. And today we're going to talk with Jayney Howson, who is the Senior Vice President and Global Head of Learning and Development here at ServiceNow. And we're going to talk about all things ServiceNow University. Jayney, it's a pleasure to have you.
Well, thanks so much for having me here, Bobby. It's wonderful.
Walk us through a little bit of your background and how you have been involved in this world of learning and corporate learning, if that's the right term to use.
Yeah, sure. Well, like you said, I have the privilege of leading a team here who are obsessed with talent transformation through learning and development. So whoever you are in our ecosystem, whether you're our employees or your partners or your customers or we love to call learners in the wild. So they're people who are currently lost and looking for their next career choice. We are there for you. And actually, it's a career. So I always talk about my career in like three parts. So I grew up as a marketeer. I was obsessed with advertising. I'm based in the UK, as you can tell by my accent. The London ad scene was incredibly cool at the time, back in the early noughties. And I thought that's what I wanted to be. I loved making people fall in love with things. So I ended up in the world of marketing, advertising, and then got more into kind of sales strategy, go-to-market stuff. Did a couple of incredible digital transformations for customers. And I was like, I want to be in tech. This is what the world needs to be. And so then I moved over to tech, but in a sales leadership role, which was amazing for one of our competitors. And when I got there, I was like, well, this place is amazing. But what is very clear is that although I strongly believe that talent is equally distributed around the world, opportunity isn't, because I worked with some incredible people in my past, which used to be more in food and drink and manufacturing, and they were incredible sellers, but none of them looked like the salespeople I was then working with. And I was like, oh, there is a ton of opportunity here. And I got like, I can remember the day I was like, I have to change this. I have to be part of the change in this world. I really want to be part of changing what corporate being successful at work looks like, and how I truly believe work's a great unlock for people to have incredible lives and incredible careers. But that means having true opportunities. And part of that is making sure the learning pathways that people have to be successful in their roles are so important. So I made a journey into sales enablement and then more into talent. And then I came over here about almost 18 months ago now for this incredible opportunity to lead this revolution.
And I really want to get into this idea of learning enablement. I mean, the idea of I can get a job and they will teach me and train me and help further my career while I'm at the job seems like a new, weird way of doing things. How did that come about?
Well, I think it's really fascinating, isn't it? I think we go through our like school lives and then we come out and we're like, we are done. We are absolutely exceptional now. We are just going to nail work. And the truth is that we spend 4 times as much time in work than we ever did in education. We are hugely different humans. I'm sure you're the same as me, Bobby, but you come out at 1 year on in your career and you're like, I have learned so much in the last year, but nobody really gives you credit for it, or it's never documented and it doesn't come out in a certification or something. And I think that is something that we all need to capture, is what does that development look like in work? And so there is this whole personal development, growing into your next career, but there's also, it is the responsibility of an organization to make sure people have the tools to be good at their job. And that's what enablement really is. Like, how do you have the right skills to win in your job today? And that's a huge part. And I don't think that's new. It's maybe we've just formalized it a bit more.
It does seem more formalized. I know when I started working in ServiceNow that they were like, do you have enough time to get some extra training? Are you good? And you need a day off to go learn something? I'm like, what? You're going to let me go learn?
I'm fascinated by the idea of how massive and, I don't know, earth-shatteringly huge the need for skill transformation is right now. We've got a ton of data that says, there's a World Economic Forum said that 90% of roles are going to need new skills by 2030. This is a huge reskilling effort that we all need to go through. So Bobby needs more than a day off to learn now.
Well, and that's this idea of reskilling that I wanted to talk to you about as well, too, because we've kind of gone past the world of outsourcing and offshoring, and we're all interconnected. You're in London, I'm here in the Bay Area. This is not the new normal. This is just regular normal for everybody. I worked overseas, you worked overseas. Almost everybody we work with at this point is interconnected. So there's a lot of common skills and commonality that we have to all learn. How do you decide or how does a corporation look at that and go, okay, we want to look at our team and get them set up for success?
Well, I mean, this is what the whole talent transformation piece is around. So we are the AI platform for business transformation. We all know that we're an incredible product, but this is so much more than a tech transformation. Jackie, our CPA, will say it's an opportunity for a human renaissance. And that whole idea is that what does the talent transformation look like that to enable this tech transformation to happen? And then how do we unlock human potential? So there is this huge opportunity for us to identify what the jobs of the future are within our own organization and within our customers, and then take them on that skilling journey. As I say, the skills are and the training are just like keys to the kingdom of your future career. Just came up with that. But they that's how we have to think about it. This isn't about just a nice to do learning. This is the unlock to the future that we have to build together.
Well, talk to me about that aspect of it. This, this for fun and growth. And, this learning and development space is supposed to be interesting and exciting and a good choice. How does that idea of fun come into the world of learning here?
It's fun and it's always nice and it's great to create this like beautiful game-like experience, but there's actually a lot of neuroscience behind it as well. So we've got a really powerful part of our brain. So the front of our brain, the prefrontal cortex, is all about things like creative thought and building new connections and exploration and everything that you see like this. So I'm really do talk a lot about playgrounds, but if you ever see a child playing in a playground, they show all the things that are happening in the front of your brain. They explore things, they try things new, they step out of their comfort zone, all the things that we need talent to do today. We need humans to do that. We deal with like a ton of the workforce is made up of, millennials and plus who think they, have learned everything they need to know. And that's not true anymore. So we need everyone to feel like they're going to take that next move on the monkey bars and try something new. But the reality is that actually all of the headlines in the press today trigger a different part of our brain, which creates this fight or flight. And that kind of concept that I want to run away from this challenge or I want to fight it. And loads of the data is supporting that's how people are feeling right now. And scientists tell us that if you can create a play state, the place where it feels like you can explore, whether you can build new relationships, where you can try new things, then you move out of that fight or flight state. You move into that play state, that all of that great stuff in your prefrontal cortex is all triggered. So it looks lovely and it's great to talk about a playground, but it's also absolutely critical to get humans in the right space to unlock their potential. Because my biggest fear is that we miss out on what could be unlocking the best version of ourselves, and this environment is it's created to make sure that doesn't happen.
Let's talk about ServiceNow University then, because that is something that when I looked at, I was like, wow, this is, I'm going to say it, but it's cool. It's really cool. I've worked in e-learning for a long time, and the old ways of doing things, it was like, all right, sit down, check in, okay, read this, watch that. Okay, I'm done. Talk about this new way of
Yeah.
learning, or is it a new way of learning or a new type of learner?
Oh, beautiful question. See, I think, and maybe it is, it's definitely a new type of learning approach. I think that's definitely true on both sides of the coin, how we approach it as the learner and as how we approach it as the people providing the learning. I think there's definitely something new. People ask me a lot in terms of kind of how do we hold on to anything when everything's changing in the world of AI? And one thing we can hold on to is that humans remain consistent. Like humans behave in a certain way. We want to grow. We're organisms. We want to grow and we succeed. We want to be welcomed inside the cave. We want to make sure we can find our way home. All of those things are true. And what we need to do within learning in this new AI world is make sure that we capture that. So ServiceNow University was unveiled at Knowledge 25. It is a really cool new learning experience. And at the core of it, it's built around the University of You. So if Bobby goes into it, when you enter the university, you'll see the University of Bobby. And what that does is leverages all of the power of AI. So it's a personalized experience that's built around you, your aspirations, your skills, your credentials. And it recommends learning based on what you need, but also what people like you have been doing. So you get this really cool experience that also feeds learning to you in a different way. So it's more micro learning, more bite size, lots of reward in it. So I like to say it uses the power of AI and the science of play, because the science of play, as I was talking about earlier, it has like 4 key pillars to it. And one of those pillars is gamification, joyful repetition. So all of that addictive elements that they have within gaming that makes you keep going back and achieving, that's all built in onto learning as well. So lots of point recognition, different ranking, telling how many points it is to get to the next rank, free swag, things that come with all of those levels. So that idea is really great. And the other thing about the university is really key is all about social connections. So how do we build learning in, which means you connected with new people who you can learn from each other as well, and a ton of like psychological safety and exploration and the other elements of play. But that's the idea of ServiceNow University. And it's also, I should say, packed with AI content. It's got learning pathways to help you progress in your career. You can see where you are in the process. You can get linked with people who need to give you jobs, all of those. You can give you jobs, all those kind of things.
It's almost like you're building out, you said the pathway. It's like, this quest of success
Yes.
almost, where it's like, wow, I'm following a path that you've set up so I win.
Yeah, please win. And I think that there's a huge part of what the thinking is behind ServiceNow University, because one of the big changes we made is now all of our on-demand learning is free. So we've completely democratized access to learning, because the currency that we trade in the world of ServiceNow University is individuals with the skills to help them be successful, and therefore help our platform be successful and make sure our customers can unlock all the power of it. And so it's totally that. We're making sure we're helping people on their own quests that's very personalized to them, and there'll be ups and downs, and they'll have, there'll be a bit of a hero's journey, I'm sure, in their quest, but they will get there at the end, and they will have careers that are unleashed because of the environment. But that's exactly what we're trying to do. And it's a pretty smart betting on your career on the ServiceNow platform as well. So that's what there's no, we're all in this journey of what the future of work looks like. But what we're very confident on is future of work includes ServiceNow as a platform. And what this ServiceNow University does is gives you the skills to be successful on it. So whether you're an admin or you're an architect or you're a platform owner, an AI platform owner, all of those pathways are within it. And it's giving millions of people the opportunity to unlock new careers, which is really cool.
That was something I thought was really interesting about this, and this idea of, we're going to help you from the beginning of your education to learn how to do this. And this is great for people who are like, well, I want to change my career. I want to do AI. I want to do tech. That can be scary.
Yeah.
But now it's not.
Now it's not. And the idea is that we really hold your hands through that process, or the system does. And it does feel like, I have a University of Jayney within ServiceNow University, which is mine as well. And I'm still learning my own AI skills, and it feels totally safe in this environment to learn those things. And if I did want to become a system admin, I could invest the time to get there. And that's the same for anyone. And we've got incredible stories of people coming from different careers, like they were sign makers, or they were DJs, or they were mechanics, and they've come into the ServiceNow ecosystem, and now they're having really successful careers. They're the second chapter of their career, which I think is really amazing. That we can see that happen, and we're really grateful for those people, because we're also learning from them. And now we've got AI powering that learning. We're making it better all the time, which is great.
What do we see going forward? How is ServiceNow University planning to stay dynamic, and what are you thinking about to get away from that textbook experience of learning?
So the world of learning is shifting all of the time, and we're going to make sure that we are at the forefront of that in with ServiceNow University. So there's a few areas that we're looking at. And much of it's AI powered, but AI powered to drive more human interaction. So we're definitely going to be introducing more ability to connect people together to have human conversations. So making sure that we use our data so that we help, Bobby identify that somebody has also got 10,000 hours in his job and wants to move to a different career, that you can connect on that. So driving human connection. There's also going to be a lot more in terms of live real-time coaching, big part of what we do. We do that via text right now with our learning coach. We're going to have more VR style coaching. There's some incredible pieces of technology that we're working with right now where you can, test your pitch or talk about a difficult conversation that you need to have, whether that's internally or talk about pitching the ServiceNow platform to a new part of your business. We're working on those things. And then the last thing we definitely will introduce is the concept of like multimodal. So how do we make sure that you can access this on any device, but you can also access any type of training, whether you want to have a podcast or a video or a short read, and it's adapted to you. And then I'm really, really excited of the world of simulation. Like, how do we create real-time simulation that you can test and practice in a safe space?
We've definitely talked about how easy this is, and it still might seem a little scary to some people. But what's the one thing you want people to take away from this ServiceNow University experience?
I want people to really trust that this is worth it, to trust that this is a space where they can be vulnerable and learn and grow and take that leap of faith into this new world, and we can do it together. I've got a 6-year-old daughter called Olive, and when she was 3, she was learning how to do the monkey bars, and I used to watch her do it. And if you could create a corporate learning environment that feels this good, where somebody takes a risk that they're willing to take their feet off the ground and take that next step, and then they fall off and they get back on and they do it again and they have no shame and no fear. That's what my vision is for this needs to feel like. We need millions of people who are willing to lean in and grow together and be there for each other, because the world's going to be an incredible place if we grasp this opportunity together. So that's what I hope ServiceNow University creates, is this not culture of learning, but this culture of growth and development.
Well, again, thank you so much, Jayney, for being on the show. And I hope everybody reaches out to ServiceNow University, both internally and externally, and makes their career everything they want it to be.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
So there you have it, a little peek into the world of ServiceNow University with Jayney Howson. If you're looking for more information about ServiceNow University, check out the show notes or head over to www.servicenow.com to learn more about ServiceNow University. And of course, please hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. We've got a lot of great content coming up about AI and all things ServiceNow. I'm your host, Bobby Brill. Thanks for listening.